5 strange facts about Djibouti that will leave you speechless. Did you know Djibouti could potentially power the entire African continent with geothermal energy? Quite a profound thought, isn't it? Nestled on the eastern coast of Africa, Djibouti is a petite nation with a geographical advantage that is nothing short of gigantic. It sits right on the East African Rift System, a geologically active region that stretches from the Red Sea in the north down to Mozambique in the south. This is where the African continent is slowly but surely splitting apart, creating a chasm that reaches deep into the Earth's crust. Now, why is this significant? Well, this is where geothermal energy comes into play. The Earth's crust, where we live and build our homes, is just a thin layer covering a ball of molten rock. That's right, beneath our feet is a fiery furnace that's hotter than the surface of the sun. This heat is continuously produced from the decay of naturally radioactive minerals such as uranium and potassium. Geothermal energy harnesses this heat and transforms it into electricity. How, you might ask? It's quite straightforward, really. Wells are drilled deep into the ground to tap into this heat, which is then used to produce steam. The steam powers a turbine, which in turn powers a generator, and voila! You have electricity. But the best part about geothermal energy is that it's clean and sustainable. Unlike coal or gas, it doesn't emit harmful greenhouse gases. And unlike the sun or wind, it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, regardless of the weather or time of day. Djibouti, with its unique location, is sitting on a goldmine of geothermal energy. Estimates suggest that the potential geothermal capacity of the East African Rift System could be as high as 15 gigawatts. That's enough to power millions of homes. So if harnessed properly, Djibouti could be the powerhouse of Africa, an unassuming nation with the potential to light up an entire continent. Now that's a fact that not only leaves one speechless, but also full of hope for a future powered by clean, sustainable energy. But wait, before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my crucial stuff. Comment, "I subscribe" below, and I will personally welcome you to our community. Let's get started. Did you know Djibouti, despite its size, is one of the few countries where French is an official language? How did this come to be, you ask? Well, Djibouti's tryst with the French began in the late 19th century. The French, in their quest for territorial expansion, signed treaties with the local sultanates and established French Somaliland, which later came to be known as Djibouti. This marked the beginning of a century-long colonial rule, which left an indelible French imprint on the country. The French influence wasn't merely territorial, it seeped into the socio-cultural fabric of Djibouti, transforming its education system, government, and daily life. French became the language of instruction in schools, the medium of communication in government offices, and even the language of the courts. As Djibouti stepped into the 20th century, French was no longer a foreign language. It was a part of the Djiboutian identity. Even after gaining independence in 1977, Djibouti chose to retain French as an official language alongside Arabic. Today, French and Arabic are the two pillars of Djibouti's linguistic landscape, with French playing a pivotal role in education, administration, and commerce. The French language is not just a colonial residue, it's a badge of Djibouti's multicultural identity. Interestingly, Djibouti's love for the French language extends beyond the confines of schools and offices. It's deeply ingrained in the country's everyday life. From street signs to newspapers, from cafes to marketplaces, French is omnipresent. It's in the air Djibouti breathes, the words it speaks, the stories it tells. In fact, Djibouti's dedication to the French language has earned it a place in the International Organization of La Francophonie, an international organization representing countries and regions where French is a customary language, where a significant proportion of the population are francophones, or where there is a notable affiliation with French culture. So despite being one of the smallest countries in the world, Djibouti commands a unique linguistic stature. Its embrace of the French language serves as a testament to its rich history, cultural diversity, and global outlook. Despite its size, Djibouti carries a big linguistic stick thanks to French. Did you know Djibouti is home to one of the largest salt lakes in the world? Yes, you heard it right. It's a land where crystal white salt pans stretch as far as the eye can see. This place is none other than Lake Assal, a geological marvel sitting over 150 meters below sea level, making it the lowest point in Africa. Now you might be wondering, what's so special about a lake full of salt? Well, Lake Assal is not your ordinary body of water. It is one of the most saline bodies of water globally, even more so than the famed Dead Sea. The lake's deep blue waters are densely saturated with salt, so much so that it creates vast white salt pans on its shores. But it's not just the spectacle of this glittering white landscape that makes Lake Assal fascinating. This lake is a lifeline for the local economy, serving as a massive natural salt mine. Djibouti, with its arid climate and scarce resources, finds wealth in this saline body of water. How do they do it, you ask? Well, the locals have been harvesting salt traditionally for generations. They venture out onto the lake's crusty surface, break off large slabs of salt, and carry them to the shore. These salt slabs are then broken down into smaller pieces, loaded onto camels, and transported to markets across the country, and sometimes even beyond its borders. This traditional salt harvesting has become an integral part of the local culture, a heritage passed down from generation to generation. It is a testament to human adaptability, a story of how people have learned to thrive and create prosperity in an environment that might seem unforgiving to many. Lake Assal is not just a lake. It's a symbol of resilience, a testament to the enduring spirit of the people of Djibouti. It's a stark reminder of how nature's most basic elements can become a source of sustenance and survival. So, next time you sprinkle salt on your fries, remember, it might just have come from Djibouti's Lake Assal. Before we continue, can I beg a little favor? If you're liking what you're hearing, show us some love by pressing that like button. And hey, if you want to be in the loop for our fantastic upcoming videos, make sure to press subscribe and ring that bell so you're always in the know. Oh, and one more thing, drop a quick "I subscribe" down in the comments, and I'll make sure to offer you a warm welcome to our amazing family. Alright, enough of that. Let's keep the conversation flowing. Did you know Djibouti is one of the few countries in the world without a daily newspaper? An interesting fact, isn't it? In this age of constant news updates where every minute detail is reported and broadcasted, imagine a place where the daily newspaper doesn't exist. Welcome to Djibouti, a country where the media landscape is quite different from what you might be used to. Now you might be wondering, how do the people of Djibouti get their news? The answer is through weekly newspapers, radio broadcasts, and of course the internet. But why no daily newspapers? Well, it's not because the people of Djibouti don't like to stay informed. Rather, it's a reflection of the country's unique media environment. In Djibouti, the government exercises considerable control over the media. This isn't uncommon in many parts of the world, but in Djibouti, it's particularly pronounced. The government controls all domestic broadcasting outlets and the country's only national television station. They also censor any content they deem as critical or inappropriate. This means that journalists often have to tread carefully when it comes to reporting news. Despite this, Djibouti's journalists are not deterred. They continue to report on the issues that matter to the people of Djibouti, albeit through different channels. Weekly newspapers, for instance, provide in-depth analysis of the week's events. Radio broadcasts offer a more immediate way of disseminating news, and are particularly popular in rural areas where internet access may be limited. And then there's the internet, a powerful tool that has transformed how news is shared and consumed in Djibouti. Social media platforms and online news sites have become increasingly important in recent years, allowing for real-time updates and a more diverse range of voices to be heard. So, while it may be true that Djibouti doesn't have a daily newspaper, it doesn't mean that the people of Djibouti are any less informed than the rest of us. They just get their news in different ways. And in a world where the news cycle never stops, perhaps that's not such a bad thing. After all, in Djibouti, the phrase "hot off the press" doesn't quite apply. Did you know Djibouti houses the lowest point in Africa? When we think of Africa, we often imagine towering peaks like Mount Kilimanjaro or the Drakensberg Range. But nestled in the Horn of Africa, Djibouti tells a different tale of the continent's geography. Here you'll find Lake Assal, the lowest point in all of Africa, and the third lowest land depression on Earth, plunging over 500 feet below sea level. This remarkable feature is a testament to the continent's diverse topography. Lake Assal is a crater lake, lying in the heart of a dormant volcano. But don't let that fool you into thinking it's filled with fresh water. Quite the opposite, in fact. Lake Assal is one of the saltiest bodies of water in the world, even more so than the Dead Sea. So, why does this make Djibouti unique? Well, it's not just about the geographic extremities, it's about the life that thrives here despite the odds. The lake is surrounded by a stark, salt-encrusted landscape that appears almost otherworldly, yet it's teeming with life. Small organisms adapt and flourish in this harsh environment, a testament to nature's resilience. But the lake isn't just a natural wonder, it's also a lifeline for the local communities. The salt from the lake is mined and sold, providing a crucial source of income for many Djiboutians. This combination of unique geography and human endurance makes Lake Assal, and Djibouti as a whole, an intriguing study of life's ability to adapt and thrive, even in the most challenging conditions. So while Djibouti may not have soaring peaks, it certainly has a deep claim to fame. It's a reminder that beauty and wonder can be found not just in the heights we scale, but also in the depths we explore. In Djibouti, the lowest point in Africa becomes a high point of interest, a testament to the fascinating diversity of our planet.